Okay, good afternoon everyone and welcome to this week's Link for Growth TV show. This week is which is a week full of delight and trepidation and reassessment for that as A-level results are announced and those GCSE results having to wait another week. We hope that all the students who have had their results will have their fingers crossed for the results next week, get the results they want. We welcome Catherine back to the show with some local news and all the charity news as usual, as well as the restaurant review. Neal will be reporting on the sports news and has an update of last week's interview that Chris had with Mark Fried from Camera about the Red Lion pub in Vicarage Road. And as a special guest this week, we have Asif Rehman, who is going to be talking about an exciting new Link for Growth initiative which starts next week, and it really is a big, exciting piece. As usual, you can contact us on Link for Growth Southwest Herts on Twitter, and someone is there trying to monitor all of that for us. Catherine, welcome back to the show. We have missed you.
Thank you. I've missed you too.
I know, you've had lots of things to do and everything, but you've got lots of local news for us this week.
Gosh, yes, my desk is awash because I do print things out as well as use technology, just in case the technology fails. Yeah, I've got loads of charity news. We've got Home Start, we've got Michael Stable, we've got Peace Hospice, we've got Michael Green Foundation. We've got lots of other news of things going on this weekend in and around Watford, and also things going on in the town. So stay tuned.
Okay, and Neal is covering all the local sports news, but I can see that he is busy serving a customer, so I'll do his 30-second slot for him. He's going to be talking about how he managed to predict the result, the correct result for last week's Everton-Watford game, and we'll be putting him to the test to see if he can maintain that 100% record. Plus he's got all the other news of Watford and Kings Langley and other local sports news. And this week's guest, as I said right at the very beginning, is Asif Rehman, who's leading the launch of a new Link for Growth initiative, which is announced next week. We'll be previewing it a little later. Welcome, Asif, to the show.
Hi, my name's Asif. I'm launching Link for Business next week in Oundle on the 19th at 6 p.m. and I will be telling you more about what the initiative is, who it's about, who it's for, and giving you all the great idea of how you can all benefit from it and join into.
That sounds really good and exciting. Okay, but first a review of the local L4G events taking place in Southwest Herts over the past week. On Monday we had a Link for Growth coffee at Reason Cafe, which was quite, the usual coffee. Lots of good discussion, debate about what people want to do and how they can do it, and meeting people up and that sort of thing. On Wednesday we had Link for Growth drinks in Rickmansworth, which again was very good, and there was some really exciting news about the venue where we used down there, which is the Fox and House pub, in that they're planning to offer a whole variety of new events at the venue, some of which are very much community focused and community building. So hopefully we'll be speaking to them more about it in September when they come to launch. And finally we had a Link for Growth coffee morning yesterday at the Mercia Hotel, which Catherine, you hosted. You are muted. You're muted, Catherine.
I knew that. I was just testing you. You see, it's been a while. Yes, I was there with my banner, is what I was saying. I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us there. Very lively chat. Lots of things going on. As usual, great coffee, great service from the lovely people at the Mercure. But yeah, it was lively. I finally got to meet David Sawyer, whose name I've seen all over the place. So it was nice to have a handshake to the name. And I think there was Julia, there was Charles there as well as Chris. So yeah, we had lively chat. It was good.
Good, good. And as I said, next week, as we said earlier, on the 19th, sees the launch of Link for Business, which is a Link for Growth initiative. And Asif Rehman, who is here to tell us all about it, Asif is going to be running the event. Asif, how and why did you become a Link for Growth, first of all, before you started the Link for Business?
I don't know. I'm actually regretting it right now. No, I bumped into Nikki at through the Peterborough events when I started my new business, which was AER Business Development, and saw how well she was running the events, how everyone came in and enjoyed the events because of how casual they were, and how it was kind of easy to come into and easy to enjoy and make new connections, really. And that's when I was spoke to Nikki and said, why have we not got one in Oundle or surrounding areas? And she was like, to be honest, Asif, I've got a fair bit on my plate and I just haven't got time. So I suggested a couple of towns, and within 3 weeks, I think, we launched Oundle, and that's how I got involved.
Okay, and of course you've taken it a lot further than, say, most people who just get involved with, you know, turning up and attending events and everything. You and Nikki and Chris got together and launched Link for Business. We're about to launch Link for Business next week.
Yes, we did. Being at the events, after a couple, I did say to Nikki, we're trying to keep them very community orientated, and we're kind of missing out, or potentially could be missing out, on the 20-30% who do just want to come and business network. And because we clearly wanted to keep that apart, we came up with an idea of launching Link for Business, which will be a bit more structured for everyone. There will be a separate ethos to it, still keeping it within the ethical bounds, where people can come and kind of network, a bit more business cards, and get on with each other too.
Okay, so when you say it's a little bit more structured, having been to a few Link for Growth events, how will the Link for Business events be structured, and why?
Well, there'll be the district leader will be presenting. They'll have speakers, so there'll be an inspirational speaker. There'll be a local business who gets to speak to, and everyone will get up and do a pitch. So everyone in the room gets to know what each other does, and then that gives them ample time to kind of network with each other as well. So that's the structure part of it, which differs from Link for Growth.
A normal Link for Growth. So would you say then that the aim of Link for Business is to, as it were, be a more human face to some of the bigger alternative networking groups, the more established networking groups, let's put it that way?
Yes, I'd say it's similar, but not the same, because like I said, we're still going to have it slightly community orientated. There will still be the Link for Growth ethos that will be there, which is the comfort zone. We're not going to take anyone out of the comfort zones. Even with the pitches, anyone who's not comfortable with doing a pitch and just wants to listen is more than welcome just to sit there, listen to everyone else's pitches, and quietly network towards the end. They don't have to get up and do the pitch. So it doesn't, and it's not referral based. You don't have to come back with a referral, so you can go and enjoy it too.
Okay, well that sounds really good. And so your role in Link for Business is going to be a bit more than, say, being a normal district leader, in this is a whole kind of new area of, or new field for Link for Growth. So perhaps you could explain a little bit more about what you'll be doing.
Yes, with the Link for Business, it is charged, so you do get charged £12 a month for each member, and there is slight income for the district leaders too. And that's because there's a lot more involvement. You have to get a team together, you have to present, there has to be speakers on the night, in the evening, sorry, and there's a lot more work that goes into it, or that will go to it. And with my personal role, I will be at most of the launches. I have to put plans and procedures in place for everyone else to follow. Now, that's just not the sign-up procedure, that's actually at the events too, because we want all of them running the same. It's not just pick a venue and start. No, you have to pick a venue, and then you have to invite the correct people, and then push the message through, so everyone knows that actually the Link for Growth ethos is still there, still community orientated, but yes, it is more structured, aimed at the business people.
Okay, and I would imagine you're starting with one event a month for, you know, the first couple of months or so, but obviously eventually you're going to be rolling this out throughout the country.
Yes, we've got Oundle launching next week on the 19th. I've got Stamford, which is close by, hopefully launching in a few weeks. After that, we've already had inquiries for a couple down in London. Had someone inquire about Derbyshire a few days ago. So within, I'd say, a couple of months, we will have almost 10 events up and down the country. but they will grow because a lot of people will see the benefits and they will come on board, because it's great for district leaders too. You get to know everyone that comes in, they personally see you, you personally get to meet them, and even for the members, they get to network with everyone across the country. And I think our biggest USP is it's not £12 for one event, it's £12 for any event up and down the country.
Okay, so yeah, that's quite a big advantage and quite a big USP. And so when you come down to London or down into Southwest Herts, you'll obviously have to let us know, because I'm sure there'll be one or two people in this district who'd like to take advantage of that.
More than welcome, more than welcome. I'm available anytime on my Twitter, phone call, and I will, like I said, I will be there at most launches and helping any district leader out who needs help. That's my essential role in Link for Business.
Yeah. So at the moment, it's sort of starting around the North Cambridgeshire.
Yes, we're doing a soft launch in Oundle, and we will do another one in London.
Yeah.
And one of the requirements for district leader is you have to go to an event, because you will need to know what the structure is and see whether you are prepared to do that, and and whether you can do that. Hence why we will have a north and south type of launch, and then kind of take it from there.
Okay. And what kind of membership do you hope to attract?
We've already, before the launch, we've almost got 5 members. Hopefully, even on the night, we're looking to get 5 to 10, and our aim is to get a couple of hundred minimum over the next few months.
Okay, and that's a couple of hundred spread in 3 or 4 events.
Yes, spread over the events.
Yeah, it's not a couple of hundred at each event.
No, I don't even think. No.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it sounds a really good scheme.
Eventually, we'll get to a couple of hundred just with Oundle alone, but not to start with.
Okay, well, we'll give you a little bit of time then to get your feet under the desk and get it rolling.
I appreciate it.
Don't worry, we're generous bunch down here. We really are. Okay, so you said that you're doing it, and I gather that you're getting some support from Nikki and Chris. But are they the only people who are helping you?
Nikki, Chris, and Deepa have been absolutely wonderful so far, and I've only done 20% of the work. I'd say the 3 of them have kind of done a hell of a lot more than I have.
Yeah, and so Deepa's helping with the social media stuff, is she? Because
she did a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, that's a kind of bag of goodies, isn't it? A particular skill set. She's very good at it. Okay, great. And you've already sort of basically said what's happening over the next week with Arundel and the launch on the 19th. And you mentioned somewhere else in briefing, which Stanford, and then you say you've got one in London. Perhaps if you have dates for those, perhaps you could tell us about that, and how people, if they're interested in coming along, how they can come along to these events.
Well, the Oundle one launches on the 19th next week. You can go onto Link for Business website, which is www.linkforbusiness.co.uk, and you'll find a link that goes through, so you can book through Eventbrite. If not, you can email info@linkforbusiness.co.uk, or myself, Asif at linkforbusiness.co.uk, come through to me, and we will send you through to the link on Eventbrite and book. And once you've booked on there, you've come to the event, you contact me personally afterwards or even at the event, and we'll let you know about the future events. And it all depends on who wants to come on board and, like I said, host these events, because that will be key.
Yeah. And what type of people are you hoping to attract will come on board to host these events?
Hopefully someone who is proactive, has some kind of marketing sense, because you will have to go out and market these events, and you'll have to be able to speak in front of other businesses too. So they have, so you have to be comfortable and confident in yourself.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. And well, thank you very much for telling us all about Link for Business. And
you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
That's okay, and we wish you every success with the launch on the 19th and the subsequent launches around the country.
Thank you very much.
Perhaps in a couple of months' time, when it's up and running, you will come on the show again and tell us more about your experiences. That'd be great.
No problem. I look forward to seeing you guys on the 19th.
Well, I'm not quite sure I can get up there, but who knows. Anyway, thanks very much for coming on the show.
No problem. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, last week Chris interviewed Mark Freyd from Canberra about the future of the Red Lion pub. And Neal has got some more news on that for us, because things have happened apace since then. Neal?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Diane. Yes, I have. Things have moved on apace since then. So last week it was just we needed to start a campaign. And already we've set up a petition, and within 2 days we had over 500 signatures in the petition, which is fantastic news. We're just getting together a open letter to the parties involved to try to get them active in making sure it stays as a community pub. And there's going to be a open meeting for the public called for Tuesday evening. We're still looking at the location, but it could be at the town hall. Councillor Rabbie Martin's got heavily involved in what's happening. He wants to fight to keep the pub too. So there's going to be an open meeting on Tuesday evening with the location to be confirmed. So if anyone is interested in the Red Lion staying as a pub, get onto Facebook if you're on Facebook. Save Red Lion Watford. If you're not on Facebook, you can just go onto change.org. The petition's on there, and you'll find all the details there. But it's very, very encouraging, the amount of support we're getting.
Okay, that's great. And it's amazing how quickly this thing has taken off. It seems to have caught the imagination.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a couple of articles in the Watford Observer already, so that's great that they picked up on the story. So that's going to give us an ongoing outlet for people to find out what's happening. And we're all really positive. We think we can make this happen. We just need to get the owner not to sell it, basically, to someone else. Luckily, we managed to get the signatures together early doors to put a petition into the council to have it the building turned into asset community value, which we think, looking at the rules, it meets all the rules. So that decision is going to be made shortly. We're not exactly sure when. We've been told they're looking at it next week. But if that happens, that will actually stop the current owner, the developer, in being able to do anything. So that gives us a chance to, as a community, get together and hopefully be able to buy this pub.
So sorry for interrupting. You say it stopped the developer from doing anything. What exactly do you mean? I mean, does it just stop them from demolishing it? Or does it stop them from doing certain things, or what?
It's a listed building already, so it certainly shouldn't be touched as far as that's concerned. And anyone who did try to knock it down with a listed building could get in a lot of trouble. And in fact, there's a case recently where someone did that to a pub and they were ordered to rebuild it brick by brick at their costs. So certainly wouldn't recommend anyone try to do that to a listed building. But this is he could, before this goes through, start alterations on the inside and start ruining the inside of what is a classic old pub. But I don't think he's actually got time right now to do that, to sort of like get a bookmakers in there or get a Sainsbury's Metro in there. They haven't got time. They'll be aware that we've put in the asset community value notice application, so they'll be aware of that's going on. So hopefully that's just going to make that all hold off. Unfortunately, the news this week was for the plot, not including the land at the back, just the pub, the shed, the warehouses, and the yard. Wants 1.1 million for. Now, we're not sure how much the property was bought for, but that seems like a lot. And another thing would be that if we get the ACV, it'll give us time to find out what he actually paid for it. So there, hopefully, we can put a bit of pressure on him and appeal to his better nature. I know he's a businessman, but if he wants to keep the whole of Watford happy, maybe he'll negotiate. Because these asking prices, as we all know, are always a starting point for a negotiation.
Yes, exactly. I mean, you've got experience in business, and you're a businessman yourself, so you know how these things work.
Indeed, I do. Indeed, I do. I just get the opinion that he's not sympathetic to the pub cause at the moment. He's made a statement that it shouldn't have the ACV put on it because it was empty for 2 years. But the fact of the matter is, it was empty it wasn't actually 2 years for one. It wasn't that long. But anyway, it's been empty recently because it was in the hand of the liquidators. Otherwise, it would have been open and been run as a pub. So the fact that it's with the liquidators is neither here nor there as far as we're concerned to the ACV.
Yeah. And there's another pub in Northwood fighting the campaign to stay open.
Yeah, it's a common theme around the country at the moment. And in Northwood, a Watford company, unfortunately, Weatherspoons, are looking to sell their pub there, which seems like a very strange decision because from the stories in the papers, it's a money-making pub. So whether they're trying to cash in on property values in the Northwood area, I'm not really too sure. But 300 residents signed a petition. They don't seem to be as far down the line as we are for fighting for this one. But the fact that it's a pub, and I think Wetherspoons would probably like to sell it as a going concern as a pub, there could be a really good opportunity for Northwood people to take some action and keep it as a pub.
Okay. And finally on the beer, it isn't in running order, but it's just occurred to me, both you and Catherine were at the beer festival that Chris previewed last Friday, I gather.
Yep, I got a Sunday afternoon off, so headed down to the sun in the lovely weather, and yeah, the beers were great. I had a really good time. I drink lagers as my everyday beer, but when a beer festival is on, I enjoy the tipple immensely. Catherine will probably know more about the standards of the beers. Oh yeah, you're a cider drinker, aren't you?
Well, I was going to say, yes, it's not just beer. Actually, there was cider as well. But it was a fantastic range, actually. A really good atmosphere there. The hosts were incredibly welcoming. Yeah, we had a fantastic afternoon. Lovely afternoon in the sun.
Yeah, they didn't give you any idea as to how much money they've been raised so far?
No idea.
Well, I spoke to the organiser, and it's a 4-year plan to the amount of money they raised. So this first event was more or less a publicity raising event for the fact they're doing it. And I don't think there was any real plans to make a lot of money out of this event, but there's a 4-year plan to try to make £25,000.
Okay, that's great. Neal, we look forward to hearing more about the sports and seeing if you can keep up your 100% prediction record. I will put you to the test later. But in the meantime, Catherine, Watford Borough Council are asking us to register to vote again.
Absolutely, yeah. If you haven't had your form from the council through already, then you will get it any day. We certainly had ours this week, and all it is just checking your details, making sure that you're registered to vote. You can do it online, or you can just fill in the details on the form. It's a tick and a sign, and post it back off. Done.
Great. And over the last few weeks, we've talked a lot about Home Start and some of the funding issues that they've had following the decision by Herts County Council to withdraw funding. And this week they announced when they're going to have their AGM. Catherine.
Yeah, absolutely. They are having their AGM, and it's not just an AGM. They're having this event on the 23rd of September at the Bushy Country Club from 11 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon. They're inviting residents to come along to their AGM, and basically it's going to be a chance for everyone to find out what they do, the challenges that they face, and what's ahead in the future for them in terms of how they're going to remain funded. There's going to be lunch and refreshments. You can register online. I'll put the link up at the end of the show, or you can go to Eventbrite and just say that you're coming along. But it would be good to know a little bit more about how they function, how they plan to carry on over the coming months and years.
Yeah, because of course it is a charity that does have a good reputation of doing worthwhile work.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they're family-based, aren't they? They support families, vulnerable families in housing. We need them.
Yes. And the Peace Hospice, I gather, are still looking for people to take part in an obstacle course.
Absolutely, yes. Push it for the peace. Online registration is open. If you register before the 6th of September, it will cost you £35. After that time will be £45. So get online and register. The event is in a brand new location this year. It's actually going to be in Chiswell Green in St Albans. So there's details about it all and maps and things if you don't know where that is on the website. It's a new 5-mile cross-country route, and the course will have over 30 massive obstacles to climb, crawl, swing and splash through. It sounds like a very messy affair. There's lots of fun to be had, I'm sure, on the day. There's plenty of family fun, rides, refreshments and entertainments for everyone. Yeah, find out more on the website. Again, I'll put the link up so that you can register.
Okay, that's great. And the other local hospice, the Michael Sobel, are having a colour dash run on the 27th.
Indeed, yes. 27th of September. Get covered in colour for a good cause is their strapline. Wear white and get covered in colour at their colour dash in partnership with Into Uxbridge. It's a 5k event, getting messy for a good cause. £20 for adults, £12.50 for kids and students, which includes a t-shirt and sunglasses. You can book online. Again, I'll put the details up. Sunday the 27th at 12 o'clock at Hillingdon House Farm Sports Ground in Uxbridge. Great fun.
Okay, well, sunglasses that time of year, not so sure you'll need them. But,
who knows? In summer, who knows?
Especially with this weather, it feels like November.
It's all going to change. It'll be fine.
You optimists.
Somebody has to be.
Okay. Well, I was hoping to now hand over to Neal to talk. He's back. Neal.
Hello.
We're just going to talk about the football, having thanked Catherine for some news there. The first game of the season last week, you predicted it as a draw. It was a draw, so well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be asking Mystic Neal if he's got any more predictions for next week and what the lottery numbers are for tonight's Euro lottery a bit later. But in the meantime, there are a few travel problems though for some people getting there.
Yeah, it did mar the game for some of the travelling fans, unfortunately. The club put on a fantastic initiative with £1 to travel all the way up to Everton, which is great for the club to do that. And by all accounts, the atmosphere in the ground was amazing. Even the Everton fans were on Twitter saying how great the Watford fans were. So congratulations to the 1881 club for helping to organise that. Unfortunately, the coaches didn't leave till 9 o'clock and some till 9:15. And as it turns out, that wasn't early enough. And after getting caught in traffic, several of the coaches didn't turn up till after kick-off time, and people missed up to 25 minutes of the game, including the first Watford goal. So there was some very unhappy supporters. The club are using this coach company for the first time. The coach company has apologised and said they will take into account their arrangements and leave earlier in future. Let's hope this is a one-off. Certainly wouldn't want it to be happening again.
No, exactly, because it's a great shame, because it was a big event, wasn't it, for a lot of Watford supporters.
Yeah, I mean, the first time back in the Premiership since 2007, 2008, and it'll be some of the people on those coaches, it would have been the first time they'd ever been to a Premiership away game. So, yeah, I can imagine their sinking feeling in their stomach as they were trying to go up the M6 and realising they were going to be late.
Okay, but it's not all doom and gloom. Watford have found out who they're going to be playing in the first round of the League Cup.
Yep, second round this year, because being in the Premiership, we don't have to play in the first round. Yay! Yep, so second round of Capital One Cup to draw this week, and Watford are going to be playing Preston away, and that is going to be in the week of the 24th of August, so it's likely to be a Tuesday or Wednesday evening. That's quite a long trip. Not sure how many people would go, because there is a history of all Premier League clubs putting a reserve side out for the Capital One games, but it's an opportunity for a club the size of Watford to have a good cup run. So and we have a really big squad full of very talented players, so our second string squad could still do extremely well in that tournament.
Yeah, okay, well that's good news. And there's been some transfer activity, I gather, as well at Watford, with people coming in and leaving and making decisions on the number of players you can have who are born abroad and all sorts.
Yeah, there's Watford's got a massive squad at the moment, one of the biggest in the Premiership because of all the ins and outs. But that'll even out over time as we loan players out and sell players. The loan in that everyone thought was confirmed last week of Alessandro Diamanti, turns out the paperwork was taking a bit longer, and we still haven't had final confirmation, although he is training with Watford, and by all accounts it's a done deal. So I'm not an expert on the paperwork, so I'm not sure what's holding that up, but he won't be playing tomorrow is the latest I hear. I was wrong last week, so they could get a signature this afternoon and be on the bench tomorrow. Who knows?
Okay.
And I haven't actually got the players out in front of me. I know there were a couple of signings. Oh, Christian Bertocchio, a Watford favourite, who had been loaned out, has actually left the club, which is a shame because he was a little dynamo in midfield. But good luck to him in his career.
Okay, that's great. And now, having said score draw last week, what's the prediction for tomorrow?
Well, it's a tough game because West Brom, they've actually done really well in the Premiership since they got promoted last time, and it's something Watford want to emulate. And although they're going to be strong, I definitely favour Watford for a narrow win. I'm going to go for 2-1 win to Watford.
Okay, well, we'll hold you to that, and see. Yeah, we'll yeah, if you get it right, you know, we'll heap praise on you. But Kings Langley have also played, and of course last week we previewed their season with Martin Bullman, and they've played 2 games this week. They started with a draw. Neil, you've got some more details for us.
Yep, the very good 1-1 draw against St Ives from Northamptonshire in their first game, so that would have G'd them up. But a bit of a reality check in their first away game against a strong Beaconsfield side. They lost 2-0. And by all accounts, in the first half, they found the going a bit tough, the step up in level. But the manager had his word at half time, and they improved their performance. And the manager took it on the chin and said it's a good learning curve for the players. They need to know the intensity of level they need to play at in a higher league. So let's hope they've got next up. They are away to Charlefonte St Peter. So let's hope they can come back with their first 3 points of the season.
Well, let's hope indeed. And although it seems as if it's the middle of the autumn, but of course it's not. It's not even mid-August, you know. And I saw fog this morning when I got up, which means, you know, that if it's August, there should be lots of other sports going on locally.
Yeah, we'll stick with football just for a second because there's a historic event happening this weekend. Sun Sports, after their promotion last year, are going to be playing in the FA Cup for the first time ever in their 114 years history. So it's a massive day for Sun Sports, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of celebrations down there. So they're playing against Silby Rangers, or Silby. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but it's a massive thing. It's the biggest and best cup competition, knockout cup competition in the world, and it's recognised world over for that. And I can only imagine it has to be a huge in these players' day. They're probably the biggest day of their life, if they're not married. Sorry.
Quickly get that in, I see.
Yeah. Someone might be watching this and might get in trouble. So yeah, let's go on to some other local sports. So in the cricket, Radlett first, they consolidate their position at the top after the blip earlier in the season. They seem to have the league under control. So is it a matter of time? It appears so. Let's hope so. Radlett's seconds aren't having it all their own way though. In the Division 2A, Leverstock Green have taken a 23-point lead in that one. So even though Radlett are strong as a club, they're not getting it all their own way in the second division. And Leverstock Green play Radlett seconds next week, so that could make a massive difference to that league.
Well, Radlett's good, and they don't have a rained-off game.
As far as I'm aware, it's going to be a good weekend. I'm hoping so, just from a personal point of view, but also for the cricketers. Unfortunately, other local sides in the Championship division didn't fare so well this week, with losses for West Herts, Chorleywood and Langleybury. So those teams will be hoping they have a better weekend this weekend. Yeah, that's all the local sport I have today.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Neil, for the sport. But of course, sport's not everyone's idea of a great afternoon out or a great evening's entertainment or whatever. Catherine, you've got some news, and I gather the big screen is coming back this week to Watford. I know Tania's talked about it a little bit, but you perhaps can fill in a few more extra details for us.
Absolutely, yes. Big screen returns after its debut, I think, last year. It was very popular, went down a storm. Yes, the part you're referring to that Tania mentioned was the people's vote for one of the films, which I believe is on the Saturday night. I might be wrong there. No, it is. It's the People's Choice on the Saturday late afternoon. They've chosen Dirty Dancing. I can't remember what the other choices were, but I'd be happy with Dirty Dancing.
Well, mine was Casablanca, and I got voted out.
Oh, you see, Dirty Dancing's much more popular than Casablanca. It's too old hat. So
Thank you.
Hey, so they actually start screening films on Thursday, Throwback Thursday they call it, with Singing in the Rain. Hopefully it won't be raining, because that wouldn't be much fun. 80s Friday has The Goonies and Ghostbusters. Smash Hit Saturday has Shaun the Sheep movie and Dirty Dancing, followed by Gravity, which is one I haven't seen, so I might well be there on Saturday night. And then Sing Along Sunday, The Little Mermaid and Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. Great fun. I'm sure there'll be lots of deck chairs out there. Take your own chairs as well. I think that's allowed. And go and join in the big screen fun.
Yes, so that's starting this Thursday. So when you say Friday, Saturday, you're referring to next week, aren't you?
Next week, yes, absolutely. Next Thursday, the 20th, 21st, 22nd, and the 23rd. Thursday starts at 8 p.m. The late afternoon showings are 5:30. The evening showings are 8. There is also a Saturday matinee and a Sunday matinee at 3. So, but check online with Watford's big events, big screen events, to see what's what and when.
Okay, and Catherine Park is going to be humming with the sound of various activities again this week, Catherine.
Yeah, there's a couple of things going on this week in the park. On Sunday, 16th of August, from 11:30 in the morning till 12:30, there will be yoga in the park for all levels, working on strength, balance and flexibility. Meet at the Char Cafe. Wednesday, the 19th of August, from 11 till 1, there will be Canterbury Explorers Forest School. From the age of 5 years plus, you can build a den or a campfire, woodland crafts, as well as outdoor games as well. Meet at Grove Mill Lane Car Park. So lots of outdoor fun.
Okay, and also tomorrow, as usual, there will be a link for coffee in the market, but there's also going to be some music there as well, Catherine.
Yes, so I only found out about this today. I saw a tweet earlier from a band called The Magician's Nephew. They're a young boy band. They come from around this area and around North London, and they're going to be playing in Watford Market tomorrow from 2 o'clock. So come along and join in the fun. I had a quick listen to a snippet of them online. They sound fantastic. They were singing a song about dinner ladies. They've also got a song about Peppa Pig, which they've had to rename for copyright reasons. But the music sounds great. So 2 o'clock at Watford Market. Go along and have a listen.
Yeah. And I gather tomorrow night at the Horns, there's a band. We were talking about A-levels at the beginning, and the era kind of takes me back to when I did mine.
that was 1930 when, Diane?
No, 1820.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that far back, of course. Sorry, that's my phone. Yes, we've got...
I still have to switch the sound off from my phone.
I can't. This is the landline phone. I can't switch it off. I'm just muting it at the moment. We've got live music at the Horns. As most people know, the Horns is a very popular live music venue in Watford at the moment. The band that's playing tomorrow is called Scam 69. They'll be playing from 9 o'clock in the evening. They are influenced by The Clash, The Undertones, The Buzzcocks, The Stranglers. They're known as a punky pop tribute to the classics of anything late 70s, early 80s. So go along and have a listen. Again, they're based around this area, North London area. They're an energetic four-piece. So go along and expect to have some fun.
Are you going?
I don't know actually yet. There's a couple of things on the cards for tomorrow night, so I've got to decide. I might not be around. We might be in London tomorrow night.
So you're not going to sort of like turn your hair into a Mohican with, you know?
I have done that before, and I think there are photos, but they're not in the public domain.
Okay.
For another day, I'm sure.
Okay, and you've got advance notice of Herts Pride, which is taking place on the 22nd of August, because they're is advanced ticketing details available for the event?
Absolutely. Herts Pride is in Catherine Park, and this is a week tomorrow on the 22nd of August. It's a free event in the park. Anybody can go along. There's music, there's stalls, there's food, lots and lots of things going on all day. But there is a tent where there's going to be entertainment. You have to be over 18 to go in it. I think it's called the Cabaret Tent, and they are selling in advance wristbands. Not tickets, and they're not posting anything out, so you can buy them online. You can buy them from Watford Coliseum. I can't remember the cost, but I know they're cheaper in advance. I think there's something like £5 to buy in advance, and you can purchase those. You've obviously got your receipt, and then you go and pick up your wristbands on the day. If you pay on the day, it's an extra £2 or £3, so it's worth doing it in advance. But as I say, it's a full programme. It's from about lunchtime or 1 o'clock onwards, and it goes right on through into the late evening, with many bands, many live acts going on 2 different stages. There's the cabaret stage, there's another stage as well, there's outdoor performances, there's obviously bar, there's market shopping area, health and well-being stands as well. So Herts Pride, obviously all about the LGBT community, but supported by Watford and Herts Council. Go along, have some fun. Anybody is welcome.
Okay, and Neil, we've got a whole lot of Link for Growth events starting off as usual for this week, but the first one is an event that's actually supported by Link for Growth, and that's the Yellow Comedy, and they're at your place this evening.
Yes, it's only 3 weeks since the last one, but really looking forward to tonight. One of my favourite nights of the month, the comedy nights. And I've got the line-up for you. I don't know if anyone's heard of these comedians, but it's sure to be fun. Stephen Diplicato. I shouldn't be doing this. Someone else should be reading these names out. Sandra Howe, Steve Hilly, Reverend Henry King, who is described as a man of the holy cloth who has to be seen to be believed. Ben Conlon, he'll hate that. and headlining is one of our normal MCs, Andy Harland. And Andrew Carberry will be emceeing it himself. I'm particularly looking forward to Spen Cockerell, whose act is based on a story about a 1908 tourism poster. Now, how you make that into a comedy sketch, let's see tonight.
Yes, well, I shall probably be taking a few photos myself, and maybe we'll be able to publish them and explain how it all works.
That'll be fantastic.
Right, great. As usual, there's Link for Coffee tomorrow in the market. It's a great opportunity to talk to Chris or Alex. They meet in the food hall there, and you can chat to Chris and Alex about what is happening, what locally with Link for Growth, what Link for Growth is about. They're very approachable people. You can ask them anything you like about Link for Growth, and they will gladly talk to you and inform you about what Link for Growth is, what it does, what its aims are, what it's achieved, what it hopes to achieve. And then on Sunday, it's the Link for Growth breakfast meeting at the Junction Cafe, which is at 101 St Albans Road, which is up by the lights close to on St Albans Road, that's close to Station Road. So it's a fairly central place. You can order any type of breakfast you like, be it English, full English, continental, or just breakfast or some description or other. You buy what you want, you turn up. It's a great opportunity to have some one-to-ones with people and to really get to know people. It starts at 10 and goes on till 12. Last time I gathered it was quite popular, and a few people spoke very highly of the experience they had there. Then on Monday, Chris gets another opportunity to sample lemon drizzle cake when he goes to the Link for Coffee at Ocean Bells at 133 the High Street, which is down near Pizza Express in the Lower High Street. I've been to this event several times myself. It's usually quite well attended, and it's a great opportunity there to meet some people in a great venue that's pretty central to the town centre, and it's handy for the shops and things like that. Then on the 18th, Chris can compare notes, because he'll probably be, well, he will be at the Link for Coffee at the kitchen in Croxley, which is, again, near, the kitchen is near Croxley Station. Apparently they do a fabulous lemon drizzle cake, so Chris can make almost back-to-back comparisons. And coffee starts at 10 and goes until 11:30. Then on Thursday evening, starting at 6, we have our usual Link for Drinks, which is a great networking opportunity. The Link for Drinks in Watford is probably best attended event, with anything between 20 and 30 people attending over the course of the evening. It's a great way to meet informally, to build contacts, build rapport with people, build networks, and to also to meet some very interesting and fascinating people who live in and around the area, who have got something that they want to give to the community. And finally, Catherine, you got a restaurant review, but it's a restaurant review with a difference, because it's also a venue review.
Absolutely, yes. If I said to you Forum Restaurant, Cafe Bar, Deco Bar, Grand Lobby, where would you have in mind? It's Watford Coliseum, of course. They have their, it's been out for a couple of weeks already, but their new season brochure for everything going on in autumn and in the future beyond that is going on. Basically, we spend a lot of time at Watford Coliseum. It's like having a West End venue on your doorstep in Watford. There's a great number of fantastic acts that come to Watford Coliseum these days, and very often we'll, before a show, we'll book their pre-show dining in the Forum restaurant. It's a lovely restaurant, very good quality food, table service food, although occasionally they do have, when they have a comedian, they'll very often do a pint and a curry night where they've got their buffet curry set up instead of table service. But when you book a table in the evening, it's yours for the whole of the evening. So you can have your dining experience, enjoy some lovely food and drink, go on through to the theatre next door, enjoy the show, come on back at the interval, have a drink at your table, and then go back and enjoy the rest of your show. You can leave coats and things in their cloakroom in there as well. It's a really, really nice addition. Since the Coliseum was refurbished not that long ago, it's been a very nice addition to be able to offer this sort of dining experience on top of an evening show. They've also got the Cafe Bar, which is when you first walk in to Watford Coliseum, you've got the bar in front of you. You can have burger meals, sandwiches, fish and chips, and just sit in that seating area around there. There's some comfy leather seats around there as well. Upstairs in the circle, it hasn't always been open, but I think it might be from now on. I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I next go. But upstairs in the circle is the Deco Bar, which is just an alternative to coming all the way downstairs if you're up in the circle. And then you've got the Grand Lobby for obviously all your rattly packets of sweets that you have to buy to go and sit and eat during the show and annoy everybody else around you. So there's a wide variety of food and drink options, and it's really sort of opened up the space at the Coliseum, so it makes it a very enjoyable experience. Coming up tonight and tomorrow, or today rather, and tomorrow, I think it was this afternoon actually, for the kids there was Room on the Broom. So if you missed it today, you can go along tomorrow and hear all about Room on the Broom, a very, very popular children's story. We've got lots and lots of things coming up. Johnny Cash is coming up. Basil Brush is coming up. If you like your comedy, we've got Jimmy Carr, Paddy McGuinness, Tim Vine, Dave Gorman, Bill Bailey, all coming up over the next few months. Looking forward into the following year, if you're into comedians in a big way, book soon for Sarah Millican and Ed Byrne. They are very, very popular. Ed Byrne in particular, we've seen that before, and he gets booked up way, way in advance. So if you're looking to go sometime, I think there are, these two are around February, March time. Book now, because if you leave it to the last minute, you will be disappointed. But there's a whole variety of things going on. In September the 5th, there's a Herts Craft Beer Festival. So, you know, it's not just a music venue, it's not just for dance, actually it's hosting local events as well. As I say, we've got dance, we've got Strictly Stars coming up, we've got diversity, we've got tribute bands, ABBA and Elvis, as well as some popular favourites from the TV with G4 and Jules Holland, as well as lots of classical bits and pieces as well. And come Christmas time, there's lots of Christmas specials coming up. Again, I would book early because, you know, leave it till November, December time, you won't get seats for these things. It's a very, very popular local venue. Go along and support them.
And of course, Coliseum has a worldwide reputation for its acoustics, doesn't it? It's where they often film lots of, record the music for a lot of films.
Absolutely, yes. We often get the London orchestras, the London Philharmonic and the Royal Philharmonic come and record various bits and pieces there. We've been there at a couple of recordings. A fascinating experience, actually, watching them actually record it. One time we were there and it was actually going out live, which is a delayed live half an hour later. But yes, fascinating experience and absolutely amazing sound. But yeah, and all on our doorstep.
Yeah, amazing. And by the looks of it, you don't appear to be playing many evenings in.
Well, if I told you we booked up in advance for Calabro and Jason Donovan, which are March and April next year, hey, let's talk about 80s throwbacks with Jason Donovan. I like the guy. And Calabro, well, they were on, I don't know whether it was X Factor or one of them, but I think they actually sound pretty good. So, yeah, I think there's a wide, varied selection of stuff there to keep you going. The prices are pretty darn good as well. You're not paying West End prices for some of these things, but you are getting classy acts that could easily be on a West End stage. So, as I say, it's all on our doorstep. It's all there for the taking.
I'll take your word for it. And Neil, do you have anything further to add?
No, that's it from me today.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. And Catherine?
Only one last plug, I'm afraid. If you haven't seen my posters already for the Michael Green Foundation Comedy and Magic Night, then you must be going around with your eyes shut because they're everywhere. Okay, if you want tickets, just let me know.
Okay, that's great. And well plugged because I'd forgotten to mention it earlier. So my fault. But yes, it's a nice piece of graphic design. Anyway, okay, well, on that note, we shall say cheerio. Chris has been away this week, which is why he hasn't appeared on the show. But he will be back in 2 weeks' time. And next week, all being well, we're going to have Tania. We're going to have Tania back on the show to talk about community, which will be absolutely fascinating and her experiences. So until then, I will say cheerio and have a good weekend.